Hi, and welcome to the Now Sita podcast, a place where heartbreak feels good.
And the show where we talk about the stuff we're watching.
And if you should be seated or not.
I'm Christian.
I'm Paige, and today we're going to be talking about
Obsession. So yeah, I thought we could maybe start off with this one with what we liked, what we didn't, and then spoilers, kind of our in-depth thoughts, how we felt.
I'm going to talk spoilers throughout the whole thing. I can't
Okay,
not
fair
talk
enough.
spoilers. Like, this movie has many things to talk about. Like, you can't tell me to describe this movie without spoilers.
Yeah, fair enough. Should we maybe go into a little bit of what the movie is real quick?
Yeah, so a man has a crush and he makes it everybody's problem.
I like to call this movie, what did I say before? Codependent horror. The horrors of codependency. Yeah. So basically it is a movie about a guy who is too afraid to express his feelings towards a girl he works with, and somehow stumbles upon a wish-making piece of wood
While at a crystal shop.
while at a crystal witch shop or something, right?
Yeah.
And he ends up buying this for the girl he likes, but ends up using it on himself. This wish making thing, and the wish comes true, and it takes a very horrific turn all throughout. So that's really the premise there. So again, like what we liked, what we didn't. I'll start off. You want to start off?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing that this is like a YouTuber made it.
Yes, it's Curry Barker, I think his name is. I'll look that up real quick as you chat about it. But yes, he is a YouTuber, and he did one other, I guess I would say like a short film on it.
Okay.
I don't know where that was, if it was posted on YouTube or not, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Curry Barker. So you could consider this like his
Curry
first.
Barker?
Curry,
So,
yeah.
I gotta say, Curry Barker,
I think he's 26.
thank you for treating me like a intelligent movie viewer, because I feel like that's something a lot of movies take for granted, like that intelligent people are watching a movie.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. It definitely, like I was telling you yesterday too, I think my favorite thing about this movie is the fact that the things it sets up, it will eventually get around to using, like, or the Chekhov's gun thing. Like, it's very good at doing that. It's very good at setting something up, and then but not bashing you over the head that it's necessarily there or ready to be used, or
Right.
like it's.
I'm glad that there is no background information on what was going on, blah, blah, blah. Like, we knew a wish was made and the consequences of the wish were happening. There was, no time going on, like, the background lore or whatever. Like, it was literally in real time. Here's what's happening. Here's how everyone's life is getting messed up over it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I what I liked most about the wish part of the wish aspect of it all is the fact that as soon as he makes the wish, like, the effects are immediate, right? It's not like you had to wait.
Yeah, there's no gradual
ramp up
happenings.
No,
it was just
he makes the wish.
She walks up to her front door, and it's like she's not even herself anymore.
Right, and then it's a complete 180 for this girl, where he makes the wish. I wish she was in love with me more than anyone else in the whole world, something to that effect, right?
Right.
And she like on a dime, she is completely obsessed with him, and it's freaky.
Funny. Yeah, it's funny because when I walked into the movie theater, I didn't have a concept of what I was sitting down to watch.
Yeah, neither of us knew,
so
really. Yeah.
In my head, I was like, oh, another movie about a boy obsessed with a girl and how he's gonna like torture her because he's so obsessed with her.
Right, the horrors of like
Marky Mark's fear. Like, I was like, all right, whatever, but I'm gonna sit for it, see how I feel. And I'm really glad I gave it a chance, because it was not the twist that I was expecting.
Yeah, no. To your point too about the girl switching off, like completely switching. Another thing that we talked about before, right, was the effect of kind of masking her in that dark light, right?
Yeah.
Every time that you would see, essentially what happens is when she turns, it's kind of presented as it's another person entirely. It's not her, right? It's not the real, what was her name, Nikki? It's not the real Nikki. It's like a fake Nikki that was, you know, created
It's
by
Wish
the way.
Nikki.
It's Wish Nikki, you could call her, right? But initially when she's shown in that kind of dark light, like you can't see her eyes, you barely see her face.
I gotta say, like, excellent actress. I hope I see her again.
Oh yes. Let's mention the actress's name real quick while I look up
She did an excellent job. I feel like it takes a lot for an actor, acting in general, to portray the subtle changes that she did.
Right. Indy Navarrete was her name. And I think we heard today that she was also in 13 Reasons Why or something on Netflix.
I didn't watch that.
Yeah, I've never seen that either.
But I gotta say, like, she was incredible. Like, if without her acting, this movie could not have been taken to the places it was taken to.
Yeah, no, her performance was really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
And everyone's chemistry together was really good.
Well, I think we should also we should absolutely also not downplay like the rest of the acting cast. Like,
but like
the rest of the
without
cast is
her,
excellent.
there is no movie.
Yeah. No, her acting is what brings that movie to life.
I keep mentioning,
like the whole movie.
At the end when she's crying, you know, at first she's crying because, oh my God, the person I love is dead. And then like she's crying again because she snapped out of the wish and she's just like, oh my God, what is happening around me? So you can hear that change in her cry. And I was just like, that's an incredible actress.
Yeah, we should add some context to that. So basically, like anytime her real self kind of breaks out of the illusion or whatever, it's at some point she like freaks out, like you're saying, right? There's a tonal shift in her voice, right?
Yeah, and it's such a subtle shift, but like you can pick up on it, and she's so good at that.
Yeah, even her movements as far as like the you know, the creepier scenes when he's sleeping and she's like in that corner in the shadow, you know, and she's doing all these like weird like back and forth, like it's you know, I mean, I think it does also kind of further that point of her subconscious or her real self is like trying to fight the Wish Nikki, right? Out of like, oh my God, what's happening, right? But yeah, to your point about her acting too, the whole thing in that scene where she's hiding in the shadow in the corner of the bedroom, and again, like that trick he does.
Yeah, that was
like
excellent camera work because it's like so subtle, but yeah, there's a creepy figure in the corner.
There's a creepy figure in the like she literally does not look like herself, and like I like that it's a creepy figure in the corner, and the way that she contorts her face with the smiling, right? Like that was really off-putting. Like I next to you in the theater, I was literally like reeling in my chair. I was just like, oh shit, like who is that? You know, me personally, like I told you last night too. I have a big thing about that fear of like what's hiding or lurking in like a shadowy corner.
Yeah.
You know, stuff that like that's in front of you, but because it's dark, you're not really like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like not many movies. I feel like it's more being used recently.
What makes
but
a horror movie work is a person that can work the camera.
Well, that too. Yeah.
I feel like that, like what you're saying.
The camera work
here. The camera really good.
Really well here.
Yeah.
But again, that like visual cue of like, to the
point where it's like, oh my God, I'm creeped out by what might not be there.
Right. And again, that visual cue of like covering her in darkness, at least initially. 'Cause I don't think he really does it again after like he kind of accepts, or so it goes that he's freaked out by like the first day because he's like, what's good with her? Is the wish really working, right? But then once he accepts it, right? Because remember that scene in the doorway where she shows up and she's still covered in darkness,
and
but then her
scene
like,
when she shows up, like
in the doorway in that red dress,
so good because she is all dark and he is all light.
Yeah,
and you can't see any like other features on her except she's all dark and she has like a creepy little light in her eyes.
Yeah.
And he's fully lit up. Like you can see every detail.
You call it the Sinners effect, right?
It reminded me of Sinners with the vampires, like how they had that little glow in their eye. But yeah, that was just such a excellent scene with just like the contrast between light and dark there. And Yeah.
Her acting, I think we really can't say enough on what she pulled off in this movie, and like how well. I don't know if it was his direction, if it was like, I'm guessing it had to be a collaboration between both of them.
Right.
Like,
again, like you can just see the chemistry was there for everyone in this movie.
Another thing too, not just to harp on like the scary parts of her acting, but the way her acting as far as like being obsessed with the guy, I think was Bear, right? Her being obsessed with him and her playing that really codependent girlfriend kind of thing. Oh my God, where are you going? Oh my God, boys' night. It
had very deep, creepy elements to it. Cause you knew it wasn't just like a codependent person. Like this was like,
I had that added layer,
person.
But I think what I liked what you said earlier was like it's almost like we know these people, like we've definitely met these people at some point, you know, or whatever. Like he's kind of like the guy who's like too nice, and like the girl who's like, you know, it's almost like a meme, but like
it was truly almost like a meme,
like a meme.
But, and you know, like I was laughing at parts because they're like, wow, this is like so ridiculous that it's so good, but also like. It kind of snapped back into reality. And I was just like, oh my God, if this was a role reversal and it was a guy, like, it'd be extra creepy.
Well, if it was a guy in her part, yeah, absolutely. But again, I just wanted to point out again, like, not to just say that she was the only good the only good actor in this movie. I think the entire cast did excellent. Like,
but again, it's also just like if she didn't act that part out,
the movie is carried on her shoulders for sure. The movie is definitely carried on her shoulders for sure.
I really hope to see her again, and I keep saying I will probably never see her again.
No, I think we'll definitely see her.
But like she was very good.
We'll definitely see her pop up in
actress.
Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. As far as like the rest of the movie goes, there's not much I really didn't like about it. I think, you know, everything is there that is not explicitly shown to you or kind of explained to you is more or less. I like the fact that there is room for interpretation, right? Like we were talking about, or at least I brought up to you how I felt like there's a scene where our main character Bear, right, the guy who makes the wish, is dealing with his cat dying in the beginning of the movie, and then Nikki calls him, oh, like, can you come by to the trivia night thing or whatever, right? And she also gives off a bit of a pick-me energy, to me at least. It gave off a bit of a pick-me energy. And the other actor, Ian, right, who turns out, spoiler, was sleeping with this girl, but also encouraging his friend, the main character, to like express his feelings to her, you know. But like the fact that we had an inkling as we're watching from the beginning of the movie, kind of how that Ian guy and the Nikki character were interacting with each other, you know.
You can tell that they had been like hooking up,
right? And that for me is what is really impressive. That like you can kind of see that and kind of have that question in your head of like, oh, have they hooked up? Maybe are they kind of a thing? Do they kind of have at least feelings for each other? These other characters.
Feelings, but I definitely thought hooking up.
Like something was going on
like
between them,
scene
right?
When like, you know, they're trying to encourage like going out for the rest of the night, and she's like, "No, take me home. I want to go home."
Right.
And that's like when Bear volunteers to take her home.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like right from that scene in the beginning too, like you really see like the kind of guy Bear is, right? Like he's mourning over his cat and he's crying, and you see like he has like a cabinet full of pills, so you can like tell like, oh, does this guy have some kind of
I guess apparently
stuff going on, is he struggling, whatever. And you see him crying, and then he gets a phone call from Nikki, and it's just like he completely switches, right? He doesn't say, simp
behavior. Yeah.
Oh no, my cat died, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm a little sad, I don't want to go out tonight. Like he didn't set any kind of boundary. He just like, all right, fine, I'm gonna go out tonight.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see
because
the kind of person he is, like from that point. And I would say, you know,
like if my pet died, I would not be going out anywhere. Like I'd be like reeling. But he was out the same night, and his cat just got into his oxycodone, whatever, his meds. And my guy, you know, should be at home, should be dealing with his cat, and instead he's out here simping. Oh, I know what's worse.
Like, be home, be dealing, but like, you know, he could mourn. He can express that, oh, my cat just passed.
Right.
Like,
sorry, I can't
it
go
was
out.
like, no, that completely left because Nikki called him.
And that's a fantastic point. Yeah, because you're right. In that conversation, when he's talking to her, he's not like, "Oh my god, like
so
my
this
cat
is a guy
died."
that just hasn't been upfront from the beginning.
From the beginning,
And again,
yeah,
he's
like,
making it everyone's problem.
and he, yes, you know, like it really is. I'm like, I also feel like, again, on for that actor, I should look up his name real quick, but the guy who plays Bear, his performance is also like, wow, I really hate you, and I feel like it takes.
I didn't feel hate. I felt pity. Like, you're kind of annoying. Like, just speak your mind. But
I guess
the
a
thing
little
is,
both.
like, we've met that person. We all know a person
we know a
like
person,
him.
yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, no.
I wanted to shake him. Like, come on.
But to, you know, to your point about that scene too, it's crazy because he literally the cat dies. He picks up the cat, cleans where the cat died in his home, and then he's, I guess, you know, oh, I can't go. Oh my god, but no. And then in that conversation, right, it's, oh, I dropped some necklace down the drain or some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Down the drain. And his immediate first thought is, I'm gonna go to a crystal shop
and get her a replacement.
and
crystal.
get her. And it's like, once again, the simp behavior just doesn't stop. Like, my guy is a simp through and through. Like, he doesn't take a second to be like, oh, you know what, my cat died, I'm really not gonna go. No, not only does he go out that night, but he goes to a witch shop to purchase a replacement necklace for a girl he's not dating. They're not hooking up. Like, a girl who we know was going to friend zone him. You know.
Yeah, he definitely gives that, I'm a nice guy.
I'm a nice
why
guy.
does anything
like,
work out for me?
You know. But yes.
And again, like, he's very selfish because even at the end of the movie, or he calls the number on the box and he's just like,
oh yeah, so
how can I change my wish?
Yeah,
how can I modify the wish?
So yeah, so you're talking about the part where like shit starts to go weird because they do show a part in the movie, which I do love, that, you know, it kind of is all like happy dandy, right? Like, they're living the dream
that whole
relationship.
montage of, like,
yeah,
you know.
And it probably only lasted like 2 weeks. That's all it did, because like
could have been like 2 days for all.
It could have been like 2 days, maybe 2 weeks, whatever the case is. But like, you know, because they don't really say how long it's been. The other characters.
That's arbitrary. You don't need to know how long it's been.
Right. But
we just see there is a point where
they are happy.
They're happy, and he's soaking it all up. He's like, oh my god, my dream girl loves me.
Right, and
then it becomes, oh my god, my dream girl loves me.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's only when like all like the where more weird shit starts to happen, right, where she finds out that her dad isn't like dying of cancer. She actually probably doesn't even she probably hates her dad, is kind of the idea we're getting there, right? So it's after more and more weird shit starts to happen that he, like you mentioned, looks at the box, sees there's a phone number to call, and he calls, and the person on the other end is just like, you're actually not supposed. He basically
it's a very nonchalant call. Like,
it's like, what do you want me to do?
What are you
like,
calling me for?
Yeah, what are you calling me for? Like, no, you can't undo your wish. That's not the way that works. Sorry, you're kind of stuck with it, or unless you can get someone else to like undo your wish, you know. Which I guess, you know, I do like the fact that they didn't get too mucked up in the details of like what the rules are for wish making and not wish making, and what wishes can you get, right? Because I think the first thing you and I talked about coming out of the theater too was like the first rule of making wish.
I was like, the first, everyone knows the wish you make is
the first wish
more wishes.
Is more wishes.
Like,
but yeah, so like I am glad that they didn't get too deep in that, but even that scene, like, it was horrifying, you know. It made me think back to like, I know we talked
with the phone call.
With the phone call, to Undertones.
The phone call, he was just like, you know, you either kill yourself and then the wish ends, or someone, you know, breaks the wish for you.
Right.
Those are like really his only
options.
Otherwise,
you should have.
And then he was like, "How do I cancel? How do I cancel?" And they're like, "No cancels.
No cancel. Yeah.
Can't do that."
No, and you know what, and
like, it just really shows how selfish of a person he is, because he, instead of leading with canceling, he leads with, how do I modify it?
Exactly.
How do I make this less intense? How do I make it normal?
At no point was he like, I just want to undo the wish entirely. Like, I feel bad. I'm remorseful. Like, no, he calls the customer service number, quote unquote customers, and he's just like, oh my god, but I love this. I love the fact that she's upset.
I love that she loves me.
I love the fact that she'll like fuck me, cook for me, whatever. And like, but I don't like all the weird, freaky, you know, supernatural shit going on. I don't like the fact that she's waking up in the middle of the night and like
screaming
and watching me from her corner, and, you know, typing up the door.
Kill me. Like,
no, I gotta say too,
my
like,
own cat.
To go back to that scene about her watching him from the corner of the bedroom, that scene was intense. You know, that was probably, well, I think
it's like, what's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen? What is she really gonna do? Because she like goes in the corner, comes back out, goes back in the corner, is being weird. Then she's crying, but it's like, I think the crying we hear is the real Nikki bursting
and of
through.
course,
right?
this is happening at like 3 a.m.
It's like at 3 a.m.
So
right?
you know the veil is thin.
Right, exactly.
So that's what I'm assuming. Like that's probably when the veil is the thinnest, and that's when like real Nikki can come out.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But the fact that scene goes on and he does, like, she's like, go back to sleep, and he just lays there and tries to sleep. I forget too that the scene where she yells at him to like stay, was that the same scene or was that a different scene where she's like, stay, and he kind of moves away from her in the bed, and then she yells at him. I want to say it's the same scene, because I guess she comes back into bed or whatever. But it's a very creepy scene because, like you said, like you don't know what she's gonna do next. Her standing in that corner, all fucking weird, like, you know. But yeah. Overall, like I you know.
There's also
the music too. The music was sick. Like, I don't know if we talked about that, but like the music was really, really sick. Like, I think it's all original, done by, they mentioned it in the credits too, but it seems like it's all original music since in the movie.
No, everything was really well put together, and you know, this is what we need. I keep saying, like, more original scripts.
Yeah.
And this is why we need to get people to go to movies, because we want original scripts. Here it is, and go enjoy it.
Yeah, so it seems like this movie was actually, he did this, let's see. Yeah, so it premiered last year at the Toronto Film Festival on September 5th. And then it got a theatrical release this year. Obviously, yesterday was the first day out. It looks like Neon and Blumhouse picked this up. Yes, so distributed by Focus Features Universal Pictures, which is crazy that Focus picked this up, because Focus usually does, they did that movie with Will Smith and Margot Robbie, so this is not in their wheelhouse either, but I think because
I'm glad they took a chance. It was a great movie.
The fact that Blumhouse, Blumhouse is also very close to Universal at this point, right? With all like the horror properties.
I saw them at Horror Nights.
Right.
So that's... That's my concept of understanding their relationship.
But yeah, overall, like I really don't have too much negative to say about this.
Yeah.
Really,
there's
at
also
all,
that
like,
scene we didn't even bring up where he's in the car with
oh yes, well,
the friend. What's her name?
Sarah was the other girl's name. Yeah. So
there. Who is that? Who is obviously into him?
Right. Well, you find that out, I guess, as the movie progresses, where like it's a show,
what
like
this movie does really well is like the body language too, I guess. And you can see like how she hugs him, how she embraces him.
Right.
At their trivia night. That shows like, oh, she's probably kind of into him.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see that tension of a triangle square forming of like who's into who's banging who, whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's really just the other, like the Ian and Nikki characters that are banging, which we find out after.
Right. So, you know, still it's like a little like, you know, square of what happenings in a friend group.
Right.
But yeah, that part in the car where Sarah's like, we need to talk. Like, you can just feel the tension, because like you already know that like, oh well, Nikki has to be suspicious. He left the bed.
Right.
So the whole conversation, like, you're kind of just looking through the window.
Right. I will say, I guess if I did have a gripe, it would be with how that scene starts, because she just texts him and she's like, come to the park. But that happens.
You kind of think that the conversation is going to be something else, and
it kind of, I mean, it is and it isn't at the same time. But the fact that the preceding scene is, they went to the party, this birthday party.
Yeah,
and the wish Nikki is freaking out.
Wild.
She's being weird. She's doing diatribe. She's monologuing, whatever. She's saying, I'm gonna put your flesh inside me. Like, she's being really fucking weird. She hits herself in the face in front of a dozen people at this birthday party. And
it's so sad. Like, she's really acting out. Like, you can see, like, she's battling herself at this point.
Right. Exactly. And the fact that, like, there's a shot where, like, he tries to take her to an ER and the ER won't accept her. I still don't get what that's about. I kind of let that go. But I guess what gets me is that in that scene.
The ER scene is mostly, like, she's not committing herself.
So you think that's what okay, interesting.
If she's not, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
she
really
does have those
scene.
wounds on her face, but
well, that's what I was thinking, because he drove her to the ER. She's got wounds on her face.
He's probably trying to take her to ER, and she's probably like, "No, I'm good," and like they aren't probably going to treat her, I guess.
Right.
If she's
refusing treatment.
Right.
Understood. Yeah. That particular scene I didn't really get. Like, it was a quick 2-second thing, but I was gonna turn to you, but I didn't want to like ruin the vibe. But yeah, I didn't really get what the fuck was going on there. I was like, okay, well, they're at the ER. Like, why isn't she at, and like they kind of skip over that.
Yeah.
And it's fine. I think maybe adding an ER scene too would have complicated things in the narrative sense.
We don't need it.
We don't think we needed it. Like, I think it's totally fine that she didn't go to the hospital either, that she went back home. And it kind of does feed into that whole narrative of the story of just like, he keeps pretending like everything is okay and everything is not okay.
Like, he actually does keep pretending like everything is okay, which it's like a you know, you can say it's like an abuse victim or even just being a narcissist. Like, he just goes about his day like everything's normal.
Right.
Like, he will conversate with his friends like, oh, nothing's going on. We just really love each other. She's going through something right now.
Right.
And, you know, that's like the typical playbook of a narcissist or an abused person.
Yeah.
However you want to view this guy.
Yeah. But yeah, my gripe is still with that scene of him and the other love interest, Sarah, in Sarah's car, right? And it's like, you know, whatever. It was late, right?
Yeah,
and they have a quick conversation about, oh, like, your girl is being weird and this, that, and the other, and they talk about it for like 45 seconds.
Not even. That's generous.
Yeah, and then she brings up like, oh, I got accepted into college and this, that, and the other, and then that's
she doesn't know she got accepted into college.
Oh, right. Well, yes, you're right.
She says my last letter came in.
My last letter came in. I want to open it with you.
Now you open it, and like, you know,
and then that's when all that stuff goes down.
Her head gets bashed.
So that was a really impressive. Like, I kind of forgive that one thing, or like how light it was all taken. It's not super, like, I wouldn't say like it's not taken seriously, this girl's condition, but at the same time, like,
I mean, it can also just be a narrative of how women are not taken seriously.
Yeah, that could be it. But
like, like how I was laughing at what she's doing, but like, no, it's actually really sad.
Right.
You know,
but
like, the whole thing's just really sad what she's going through, and it's, you know, at the expense of this guy that could not speak up for himself.
Well, but again, that scene in the car, like, I think for me makes up a lot of, or just the whole movie in general makes up for a lot of like whatever mistakes we could, like, you know, because again, like you said, right, and the fact that it's
very minor.
It's a very minor thing, yeah. But again, like the way that scene is set up, where like the camera literally goes back to show the girl in the window.
Yeah, it was very good at like building attention. Like, you know, something's gonna happen at some point, whether it was when he was in the bed looking at the text,
right, or
now that you're in the car. Okay, when is this something gonna happen? And it was kind of just like slowly building up, like the back and forth, like, and then when it happens, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah. And yeah, like, it really takes you by surprise, and that's what I love about it, that it still took me by surprise. The fact that I knew something was going to happen, and then but when it does happen, it's because they waited so long, and I just love the fact that he kept setting up the shot, like face window, back, forth, and it literally happens like a few times. And then you think maybe they are safe, right? And that's the other thing I was telling you too, like, because I while that scene does set you up for like, I know something's gonna happen, it's giving you that visceral feeling. The movie also has other scenes where it is late, or like I told you before, right? Like, he's in the car making that phone call to customer service, and nothing happens. She doesn't come out of the house.
Right, and that whole time too, I was like really nervous, like something's gonna happen, because he came home late.
Right. So even in that,
like, what's the tension? There's something building up here.
Right.
Like, you know.
So even in that, where like the movie, I think, does a fantastic job of like making you think. I feel making you think like, maybe nothing will happen.
It just sets up that uneasiness.
That it's an uneasiness, right?
Yeah,
Which is also like
feeling like
on top of everything else. Now you're also uneasy where this chick might pop up. Might not
it's truly, you know, they really. I would call this like a psychological horror because it's really like walking on eggshells with a person that has like borderline personality disorder.
Right.
And it's not even her fault. Like she didn't want any of this.
Right. And it's not her fault. And that's the thing too.
Yeah.
Which, you know, at the end of the day, like the guy is the villain, right? And like I don't feel like the movie like makes you feel like you should feel bad for him in any kind of way.
Yeah,
like
I never
at no
felt bad
point
for
I
him.
think that like had the movie done that, I would have felt differently about the entire
ending
thing,
and everything.
especially about the ending.
Yeah, like I would have felt like nothing was deserved or earned or whatever.
Right.
But like again, he is so selfish up until the end because he's like, I can't deal with this. I'm gonna kill myself, which is him completely not considering the consequences of him killing himself. Because she snaps out of the wish and she's like, "Oh my God, what have I done?"
So let's talk about
so now she has to deal with the reality of like everything that's happened because of his wish.
Right, but let's talk about the ending because from the beginning, he gets another wish stone, or another wish thing, willow. One wish willow is what it's called, right? He gets it. He goes back to his apartment to, I guess, confront her or ask her to maybe make the wish or do whatever, but she's still in a blitz, right? Murders the other friend, and he's freaking out, right? So then eventually his decision is, well, I'm gonna go just straight up kill myself, right?
Yeah.
And then not forgetting that in that whole blitz, he left the wish thing in the living room. But he goes to the bathroom with the gun.
And it's such a subtle thing that, like, if you missed it,
right? We talked about that. Like,
would not have understood it.
You know he brings in the extra wish device in the apartment.
Yeah, trying to get her, because since she's so obsessed with him, she will do anything for him, right?
Right. He thinks, I'm gonna get her to wish this. But then the blitz happens. You lose track of it. He loses track of the wish thing. All you see of it is the one shot before he sits on the couch where it's on the rug. And that's the last time you see it. But then he rushes into the bathroom with a loaded gun, to either shoot himself. But even then, he doesn't have the balls to just shoot himself in the face.
I mean, it's a pretty tough decision. And, it calls back to when you see the cat in the beginning. You're like, oh, well, he has those pills, so he's probably going to do what happened to his cat.
Right. But again, like he could have ended it quicker, and instead he decides, oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die the easy way, more or less.
I don't know if there's ever an easy way to die.
Well, right. But in any case, he decides
less pain inflicted on himself.
Right. Which still speaks to his character, I feel like. And again, the whole Chekhov's gun thing, like we saw the oxycodone at the beginning of the movie, and now we're seeing it at the end being used.
Was it oxycodone?
Yes,
I don't remember seeing.
Yes.
The name.
So when he opens the cabinet and
I just know there's like a bunch of pills.
Right, but the cat got into the pills.
Right.
And then that's where you see the pill bottle.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
But
So
I just wasn't sure if it said oxycodone.
It's his grandmother's.
Right.
It's his grandmother's apartment or whatever. But in any case, he takes the oxy at the end. He overdoses on oxy, and as he's overdosing, he goes to throw up for a second, and then he snaps. Like you can, and again, a credit to all their acting. He snaps again, and you're like, "Oh, well, what's going on?" And then you realize, and the movie shows you that Wish Nikki, possessed Nikki, found the wish thing, understood how to use it, cracked it, and instead just
her wish was most likely make him obsessed with me.
Exactly, which. Yeah. If the movie had ended there, had just done that, I think, wow, what a creepy fucking ending. That now, like, because of him, now they're both just gonna live this delusion.
Wish delusion.
Well, yeah, like, but the oxy kicks in, and then he dies in her lap on the couch, and then she's crying first because, he died. And then as soon as he actually he's dying.
As soon as he's died and the wish breaks.
The wish breaks, and then she immediately, as she's crying for him,
snaps into the reality.
Right, like,
and she's just like, what is this? Where am I? What
Right.
have I done? And that, like, just the change in the cry. I think I mentioned this in the beginning. Incredible acting skill on her part.
that she can turn on a dime, and
Right.
and the fact that like
the
you can
difference in
tell
the sound of her cry.
you can tell it's not this Nikki, it's the real one,
Right.
Or just by the way she's crying, you know what I mean, like. But
but also like the intention of why she's crying.
Right.
You know, it changes because she's like, why is this guy on my lap? Why is our friend dead on the floor?
Right.
Why do I have big gashes on my face? Like, she is now in the reality that the wish Nikki was living, and
Right.
she's, you know,
Yeah.
he left her to be alone and go through all of that.
Well, and
Crazy.
I really don't have any issues with the ending. I
no,
don't
that
know.
ending was great.
Yeah, the ending was
I
great,
think
and it was
confirmed again. This guy was just selfish through and through.
Yeah.
The whole movie.
Yeah, because again, his character whole like the selfishness of his character holds throughout even to the end, right? Because even the way he kills himself is still
oh poor me. It's literally
poor me,
oh
like
poor me the whole
right,
time.
and it's like no, like you're the reason
I'm
this
such
is
a
even
nice guy.
happening.
Why is this happening to me?
Exactly, you know. I really don't have any critiques on the ending. I think the ending is pretty near perfect for like a movie.
No critiques.
Yeah.
Let's make more movies.
Yeah.
More original scripts. Let's keep supporting it.
I don't think it should have been changed. Like again, if the case were that he didn't die, if the ending were more like he's about to take the oxy, but then he doesn't because she made the wish before he took the oxy, and they just had to live cursed forever, also would have been fine with me. But I think the fact that
but I think like this movie was very not simple, I want to say, but like it kept its own pace, yeah, for sure. Right. And like I just feel like that would have been too much.
Well, I mean, it's too much, but it could have been like a good. It's another kind of like it's one way to go about it.
Yeah.
I think I love the fact that it ended in the way it did.
Yeah,
because
I really like the ending. I like again, it shows his character from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Like,
but again, like now she has to live with the horror of what this guy's done. Right.
Because it wasn't even like she did it under his wish, so she has no idea.
Her autonomy was completely removed. Like,
no autonomy.
You know,
you can hear her screaming. Like it terrorized you. Like hearing that. Like that was really sad.
But I do like the metaphor there being, or not a metaphor, but the meaning there that he dies. And even though he's the one that started it with the initial wish, and caused all these things to happen, got his two friends murdered, right? He dies, but the one left to carry all this bullshit now is her.
Yeah.
And because of his actions, and that to me is also like, oh shit, like,
welcome to the life of a woman.
Right, like what? Again,
welcome to the patriarchy.
As far as like the individual characters go, I can't speak well enough as to how like I think they all are, and again, like I think the movie also does a really good job with doing a lot with just a little. I think that's my big point there. It does a lot with just a little. It's not super over the head.
You think back to Undertone, which was a low budget movie and didn't have much to work with, and I don't know, kind of fell flat, right? But then this movie did not have.
Well,
I don't know what the budget was for this.
So
movie,
here's my thing with Undertones compared to this one.
A lot was done with very little, like you said.
Right. And again, Undertones could have also done that, but
we'll have to talk about that another time.
Another time with Undertones, right? But essentially, like, even if the conceit of Undertones was like the audio is scary, this movie, and again, because it is also like we talked about before,
the
right?
atmosphere of this movie was very haunting.
Right, it's the atmosphere altogether is haunting.
Cry,
the audio visuals, is right. That
everything
phone call
was executed very well.
The phone call with the customer service person, right?
And you hear her screaming.
I have her here on the phone. Do you want to talk to her? And she's yelling,
she's screaming.
So my guess for that is that when the customer service guy says, "I have her on the phone," I think he means real Nikki's on the phone.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's what I took away from that. Like, not Nikki in the house.
Nikki, no, not Wish Nikki.
No,
That's
real Nikki is on the phone yelling.
Yeah.
in agony, like.
Yeah. Because those are the screams we hear in the night when the veil is thin at 3 a.m. We hear her screaming.
Do you want to talk about that scene too, where she breaks through while like the body of Nikki is sleeping? And like real Nikki comes through in the sleep, and she's like, "Don't wake me up."
Yeah, and it's so creepy. Don't wake me up.
Don't wake me up. Just kill me, like whatever. And then he says, "I think that's a fantastic line too."
Yeah.
What's so wrong about being with me? I've never been with you, right? Like that line. I was like, "Oh shit!"
He says, "What's so wrong with being with me?"
And then she says,
"I've never been with you." And
it's like, oh,
that just
my
like
God.
Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really shows how like,
dedicated, or like
not dedicated, but just like how this wish has completely overtaken, because it's not Nikki.
Oh, yes. Like, it's not her. No, it's not her. Yeah. So again, like from the writing to
the acting
to the camera work to the lighting. You want to talk about lighting again? Like another, and this is from a guy who's what, like 26, I think, 27.
YouTuber.
He's a YouTuber. He's and he's not like this big professional filmmaker as of yet, or I guess with this movie he is, right? But my point is, like, how is that a 26-year-old just starting out?
Netflixified,
like, right? It didn't have all this bullshit Netflix lighting. It didn't like everything looked.
It played with lighting.
It played with lighting.
Yeah,
we don't see that anymore, and that's my again, like the visual cue of when the Wish Nikki comes out and she's literally covered in darkness. Every scene in the car when she's bending over the dashboard,
like the importance of the arts, because every form of something in the media creates art, meaning whatever, visual, sound, staging, acting.
It's a combination of all those things
together.
But lighting and playing with lighting in that way, I think, like you said, is like, wow. Like, I'm just genuinely impressed that not every other movie that we've seen has been like, oh my God.
I wouldn't completely,
again,
say that. Like, I think we recently saw a few movies that really, the lighting was excellent.
Right. But again, it's been the culture, like the Netflixification of like lighting in shows, where it's like, it's just overhead lighting and more lighting here and lighting there, and everything's just lighted out.
Commercial.
Like, the fact that we get a movie where it's like, it's very thoughtfully,
it's very intentional with the lighting, the sound, the placement of everything, the camera work,
the music. The music is haunting from the moment the movie opens with that music. I was like, oh, and it's got that very it's very similar to the music in like Smile 2.
Yeah,
it's very like creepy synths, very eerie, very like, not quite haunting, just like, it's like,
it's eerie.
It's a weird. It's like a weird sound.
It's building an atmosphere.
Right. Yeah. So altogether, like, I again, I really don't have too much like negative to say about it. I had a great time. I know the theater we were in had a great time.
One of my favorite parts, when he's laying in, he's not, I don't know if he's laying in bed or what's happening, but he's on the movie Reddit channel or movie.
He's on the Reddit. Like, he goes to Reddit to look up about the wish.
Actually work.
Yeah, does it actually work? Is it real?
My God, other people do that.
Yeah, and like most of I love the fact that most of the comments were like, "Oh, it's really just a collectible."
It's just a collectible. No, it doesn't work.
Right, and some people were like, "Yes, it does."
Absolutely works.
Right, but then
I love again the camera work there was so good, because it was like literally showing us what it wants us to see.
Yeah.
It was very intentional with like. A very silly scene, but
and that's what I'm saying. Right, it shows you what it wants you to see, and if you pick up on it, you pick up. And again, it like, I like the fact that, because again, like with other movies that might have similar structures or similar things to show you, like kind of like a murder mystery or another thriller, right, where they have to keep cutting back to show he's looking at a screen, and you cut to him, and then you cut back to the screen like 6 times in other movie. Like, no, this movie, it was very smooth. It's very smooth. Yeah. It's only a couple edits. It's his face. He goes to the computer. He types it in. He sees Reddit results. He's reading through Reddit comments, and that's up on the screen. It cuts back to it maybe like twice, but it stays on there, giving you enough time, a few seconds, to kind of peruse, scan through
what's
there, and it's like, okay, if you caught it, it's a masterclass in like holding your attention, because I feel like, or also like if you don't typically pay attention to movies, that's kind of on you, right, kind of thing. But it does really well on like holding your attention and kind of testing you to see like, did you pay attention, like, you know, because again, like the things that show like that's a very quick thing.
Subtle, and it also just valued its viewers as being intelligent.
Absolutely, right.
You know,
it doesn't bash you over the head.
People are smart enough to catch on to what's going on here.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Should we move into final thoughts?
Final thoughts. It's a definite seated for me.
Yeah.
I would definitely.
I would pay for a ticket to see this movie.
Yeah, if we didn't have A-list.
Yeah. Well, you know, everything's expensive.
Yeah.
We have the luxury of having A-list. We don't got to worry about that. But for people who don't have A-list,
yeah, this is definitely well worth your money.
I would pay to sit. I would pay to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would watch this movie. I would.
Yeah. And I would also recommend, if you can't going in with a crowd, hopefully that it was our crowd, thankfully, when we went yesterday, was really respectful, like really like dead quiet, right? I do like the fact that we were all kind of laughing. I heard people, I thought it was fucked up, but then I heard other people laughing.
We were all collectively going through it together.
Right, like, oh my God. Like,
you know, working through these emotions with the actors on screen.
Right, and it came out as laughter, not that anything was being
so funny. Uncomfortable laughter, like, oh my God.
Right, but to your point, it's fair. Like, if you don't have AMC A-listing and you're just buying an independent ticket, like, yeah, I would totally pay full price to go see this. Like, absolutely support this movie. Like I really just cannot. And
let's continue to support original scripts and films. It's important.
Yeah, we caught this at AMC Prime, or like a Prime theater.
Yeah.
I think the presentation, like the sound design was great. Like maybe we can watch it like I
wish that I could watch it in Dolby Cinema, but
I don't know if it's showing in Dolby Cinema.
Something else.
Is showing.
Mandalorian and Grogu is taking all the theaters right
now. Who gives a fuck?
But yeah.
Right.
What was his name again?
Who, the director?
Yeah.
Curry Barker.
Curry Barker. I hope you continue to make movies. Can't wait to see your future. And what was her name again? Never Ready. I hope to see her in more movies as we move ahead, because she was incredible. Yeah,
just a quick sound off on the actors here. It is Indy. No, it's not Indy. Ined. Ined. Ened.
No, I think it's Indy Never Ready.
Indy. Yeah. Oh, it's like, okay, I see. I get it. They just left out the rest of the letters there. Okay, Indy Never Ready. Michael Johnson, I guess, is the guy who plays Bear. Yeah, that's Bear. Cooper Tomlinson, Megan Lawless, which I think is such a fucking cool name to be called Lawless as your last name. And Andy Richter. Who was Andy Richter? That's the dad.
Who's Andy Richter?
Well, I'm sorry.
Silly.
Anyways, but all the it's a definite seated for me.
Yeah.
I might even ask you to go watch this again this weekend.
See it again.
Like, yeah, I would totally see this again.
Totally see it again.
I'd probably even buy this. I should also maybe add that in there at the end of.
You would add to your collection.
I would add this to my 4K collection. Yeah. Absolutely.
I look forward to all their futures, because this was a very good movie.
Yeah, you know, and again, like, I really think we should be supporting.
What was the runtime?
109 minutes. I will say, initially, now that I've seen the whole movie, I can
that's over 2 hours.
An hour 40.
An hour 40.
An hour 49.
Yeah, that was perfect. I didn't even feel the hour and 49.
Yeah,
I
hour
thought
49.
It moved pretty quickly.
I did feel like the beginning for a second was like, when are we getting?
It was setting up, right? Like we didn't know what we were sitting in.
Right. We didn't know what we were sitting in, so like I feel like that initial, like, I don't know what this is,
right?
Or I don't know how long it's going to take for you to take me to
where we're going.
But it gets there pretty quickly.
Yeah, I got there pretty quickly,
and it's efficient.
I was pretty satisfied.
Yeah, and that's my thing.
You know, enough was squeezed into that hour 49 where I felt satisfied. It didn't need to be any longer. It didn't need to be any shorter.
Yeah.
I'm very
absolutely.
Happy with the
It's a very efficient setup. Like the cat dying. It had
a beginning, middle, and end.
Right. The introduction of like the speech he's giving and whatever. Like, I think it's all really efficient use of time.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you get to the rest, and like I told you, like how did we pick up on the fact that we could pick up on that the Ian and Nikki characters, the vibe that like so
yeah, it was very efficient.
We've waxed poetic enough, but yeah, this is a definite seated for me. Two seateds. Two definitely seated.
Two definitely seated.
Yeah, maybe even go watch
again.
We
can have like a seating scale.
Right.
We'll see how it works.
2 seats. We're reserving this 2 seats.
Yeah.
All right.
Bring your friends. Bring your parents. Go see the movie.
Any idea what our next movie might be? Or Possession's gonna be our next one.
We're already booked for Possession next week, but there might be some others in the middle. I know Is God Is out, so we might go see that. Yeah. I Love Boosting is out, or I Love Boosters is coming out, so we'll probably seat for that. You know what that one is? We've seen it a few times.
You'll have to show me a
trailers. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thanks for listening to our podcast, and we'll see how this works out moving forward. Yeah, absolutely. We're very excited to hopefully get more. Well, not hopefully get more reviews up. And be able to record as soon as they come out. So yeah. Let's talk about it. Comment, send us messages, whatever. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Send us emails. What's our email? I'll post it up on the page. What's our email? nowseatedpodcast@gmail. now.seated.podcast@gmail.com. Yeah. But I will leave a link. So if you got that. Yeah, if you send us an email. if you were fast enough to write that down, but if not, you can just copy it off our bio. Email, comment. We'd love to know your thoughts. We'll Instagram us, TikTok us. I would love to see if we do get enough comments to have like a follow-up video and talk about it. Yeah. Like whatever. I don't know. Yeah. He likes to chat. Big yapper here. Believe it or not, he's the yapper. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully see you on the next one. And yeah. Until next time, stay seated. Walk a little too.